Raw materials play a key role in understanding those raw material contributions are of course important. But I think that what most companies have found is that the actual raw material contribution to final cost of goods sold is relatively minor compared to all of the other costs, and that's a big bucket or big concept to contemplate. And the other costs are yeah, you can call it process efficiency, but what does that really mean? That means time, that means yield, that means scrap, or loss during processing, which was part of the yield factor. But the cost of the actual raw materials, be they upstream or downstream, or even some of the perhaps single-use components or filters or whatnot that are involved throughout the processing, those certainly contribute. But if we think about labor, and not just manufacturing labor, but the supporting infrastructure, what is often referred to as overhead, such as QA, regulatory, maintenance, engineering, the people that keep the bioreactors going, the people that move the raw materials around the facility, all of those costs, including the environmental controls and management of that facility, add up to the total cost of goods sold. And those costs can be fairly significant, as we know, which is why quite often biotech drugs, at least initially, are quite expensive. So the focus on cost cannot be unidirectional. It has to be comprehensive. Yes, raw materials matter. They can't be neglected. But in terms of what has the greatest impact on cost, it is really that holistic picture, which involves the process, the validation of the process, and the monitoring of that process. So those various costs coming together are, maybe best described as efficiencies and process effectiveness. But that's going to have a bigger impact than any chemical reagent or even the chromatography resins, which are often the biggest part of the cost picture.